big fucker for 185 too. That's a big fucker.
I want to see that fight, though.
Fighter.
Man, they did a great job of setting up, throwing that low kick, switch kick to the body, kept that pace up for the entire 5.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
That's going to be a different game.
Oh, yeah, that's a night when you get touch
different
game.
Yeah, it's a very different game.
Yeah.
You'll see he's using wrestling then.
That fight wasn't close, fellas.
Nope.
Fight wasn't
He keeps
close.
getting better.
He's got his endurance. He can't even stop talking. Look at this guy.
I want to hear what Sean has to say.
Me too.
I hope he doesn't bring up the staff. You can't, right? You got to talk about that tomorrow.
Too soon.
I hate when fighters do
That's when they say too soon.
Yeah, talk about that tomorrow. Maybe DC asks him. I would definitely ask him. Was that staff? Were you on antibiotics? That would have been probably my first questions.
If you ask it, it's fine. If he's like, yeah,
I would have said,
staff.
was there anything surprising
But
about
I'd
this
go
fight?
deal with staff, but that's
Yeah.
not the reason I lost. All credit
right.
to DDP.
Right.
Let the
But-
fans talk for you.
But is that staff?
Sean is usually really good at shutting people down. And like Izzy, when he fought Izzy felt like it looked like he couldn't get into a rhythm, and he was in his face, pressuring him the whole time. Feels like that was what Dricus did. I'll tell you something fascinating that I noticed tonight for the first time. I don't know why. See if you noticed this. So Sean Strickland, the way that he acts leading up to fights, right? Normally when you have people who act the way that he acts, you see signs of it in a fight. Who is more focused, professional, and solid in a fight than he is? You know, when he gets hurt, no sticking out the tongue or no, that didn't hurt me, anything. The guy stays focused, keeps coming forward. There's never any hint of how he acts outside the octagon when he's in there. Absolute professional the whole time. It's actually fascinating. I don't know if I've ever seen that with a guy who acts the way he does leading up to fights.
It must just be his happy place or something.
Huh?
It must be his happy place.
I don't know. Or this is all, you know what I mean? I've never seen a guy so solid and professional. Gets his nose broke, snaps it back into place and keeps fighting. Gets hit with some nasty shots. When he gets hit with big shots, he doesn't start shaking his head and doing all the goofy things that people like that do. I mean, you can go into any combat sport and you've seen it. Nobody is more professional during the fight than this guy is. It's fascinating, actually.
And another thing on Strickland as well that I think all the talking makes people sort of overlook is that he's very tough as well. Like, he ate some big shots from DDP. The nose thing, like, usually if you see a fighter freak out from the pain, they lose their composure. Like you said, he just gets right back into it and dials back in.
100%. Never, looks like he never slides off his game plan, stays focused, doing what he's supposed to do, even with a broken nose. Yeah, I agree. It's fascinating.
And on the other side with Dricus, I mean, it got a little bit weird towards the end, but it would be said that in the first round, he actually looked maybe more technical than he has in...
Well, you know what's funny is, and I meant it as a compliment. When I said he fights like a white guy dances, right? Like awkward and whatever. It's all, they've been focusing on that. I was like, don't listen to the that I say. I'm, whatever he's doing works. He's the world champion. And how do you spar for a guy like that? Don't change anything that he's doing on account of what I say.
Start with the main event. I said it multiple times. I did not want to see this fight. I didn't think it was warranted. Sean Strickland did not successfully defend his title a single time. He lost a fight to DDP, which was close, fair and square, 13 months ago. And then he came back and won, a solid but somewhat unspectacular fight against Paulo Costa back in June, and that was it. I wanted to see the Khamzat fight. I wanted to see it right away. I didn't think this was necessary, and Sean did nothing in this fight to make us think that he was going to win at any point. As his coach, Eric Nixick, said, and credit to Eric, he was very honest, he was very brutal, he was very forthright. Each and every time they went to him in between the rounds, it was all very predictable. It was ones and twos. He was plotting forward. He was hardly throwing any kicks. He was hardly mixing it up. There were very few combinations. That was not a fun fight to watch. It was not a entertaining title fight, but I don't really blame DDP. DDP on his worst day is somewhat entertaining because he's just so kind of unorthodox and awkward. He was doing everything he could to, bring the fight to Sean, but there was no real reason for him to take any risks because Sean was doing absolutely nothing. Plodding forward, ones and twos, no takedown attempts. Not even the threat of a takedown was presented to DDP. And in the end, I had it 5-0. I don't know what that one judge saw, 49-46, who cares? DDP appeared to have broken his nose in the fourth round, not his nose, Sean's nose in the fourth round, gushing blood, pouring down, and he wins the fight. And at the end, he says, is there no one else? And apparently was looking at Alex Pereira. The fight to make is obviously Khamzat Chimaev. That is the fight. And we'll get to the co-main event in a moment, but it does feel like there are a lot of similarities between Khamzat and Tatiana Suarez, two fighters that we've been waiting for them to finally get a title shot. We'll get to Tatiana, but this is the fight to make. It's Khamzat Chimaev versus DDP. There was a lot of talk about, obviously, DDP and Sean Strickland and Khamzat all week long, but that's the fight to make. I'm intrigued. I'd love to see it. I'd love to know, they got it wrong as far as the co-main is concerned. I'd love to know who the favorite would be going into that one, because right now, I'm not sure. DDP, by the way, GC, 9 in a row, and has slowly but surely put together one of the all-time great runs at 185 pounds. It's extremely impressive. You got to give him his flowers.
On the mic at the end, you took it and walked straight at Alex Pereira. It seemed like you sent a message to him. There was something online that he challenged you to come up to 205, and you said, deal. Is that true? What happened backstage?
Yeah. He came up and he said, did you challenge me? And I was like, I did the whole show. I did the whole movie scene and everything. And you're like, did you challenge me? That's kind of, that's anticlimactic, but sure, yes. And I said, yeah, I did challenge you. But I did, I have the world's respect for Alex Pereira. I think he is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. I have the most respect for him, what he's done in a short period of time in the UFC, to come from another sport, what he's done there. But yes, I want to share the octagon with that man. I want to be a guy. I've beaten Adesanya. Who's beaten him? I know I can beat him. And at 205, 100%.
So Dana was also in here, and he said, that possible fight against you and Khamzat would also be pretty massive at this point. So if it were up to you and he came to...
No, Khamzat's first.
Khamzat's first?
Khamzat's first. No, I wish him... I said, please beat Uncle Live. No hate against Uncle Live. I just want to beat Alex Pereira. It's nothing personal against Uncle Live. It was just... Pereira, he's such a legend in the sport to me already, that it would be amazing to beat him for my legacy. I want to be the greatest to ever do this. But Khamzat's next. Khamzat is next. I want to make sure that this belt, the middleweight title, that there's no question that I'm the guy.
Got to be honest, after watching the Zhang Weili Tatiana Suarez fight, and I know they're two completely different fighters, but there's so many similarities between Tatiana Suarez and Khamzat in that we've been waiting for them to finally get a title shot, and due to various weird reasons they didn't. There's a part of me that wonders, like, wait a second, is it going to go the same? And I know DDP is in Zhang. It's nonsensical, but I'm done counting out Dricus Du Plessis. I'm done. And the truth is, we don't really know how good he is just yet, because two of those title defenses were against a Sean Strickland that didn't really do much. He did much more in the first fight, but this fight is like, this is going to be the easiest title defense of his career. Sean brought nothing, and it's very disappointing because I can't imagine he ever gets a title shot ever again. His coach is imploring him to dig down deep. If maybe we'll find out that staff was bothering him. Maybe we'll find out that something else. But like, there was never a moment where he even threatened anything different other than ones and twos. Honestly, when you're watching that, you have to remind yourself that that's a title fight.
It was like things like this, and you just went. And I went for like 2 minutes just trying to...
Yeah, dude, I broke it, and I was like, well, in the movies, they just set it back into place.
I saw you trying, and I was like, wrong way, man, wrong way. You went like this.
No, I felt it. I said it, and the crazy thing is you shot on me again, and dude, your nose just touched in.
I saw it when the brother
Hey, dude, at the end of the day, man, we talk about shit, but you're a bad motherfucker. Best in the world.
You can't go down.
Best in the world. I gotta go to South Africa, man. I've actually been to a German once. I love it. Is that your woman? Hey, I don't want my bloody, but... You got a bad motherfucker right there, dude. I appreciate it.
Whenever you're
We took a photo African I've ever met.
Photo right here really quick, guys. Thank you. Cheers, guys.
that's an operation, right? I mean, he's got to now get it all fucking set.
Yeah, clear, unanimous decision.
So they probably gave Strickland the 4th round.
Yeah.
Yep. Dricus Du Plessis, ladies and gentlemen.
He's a problem,
He's
man.
wild,
He's
man.
a tough puzzle to figure out.
He's a tough puzzle.
If someone's
He's
going
a
to do it,
tough
it might be
puzzle to figure
Hamza.
out. Very tough fight to figure out.